Hey guys! Welcome back to the keyboard-related video. I'm Johan, and today we'll be looking at the Gamakay TK68. First up, I want to preface this by saying that Banggood has sent me this keyboard for review, but this would not affect my opinions on the board. In fact, Banggood is seeing this video at the same time as you. So with that out of the way, let's get started. Seeing the box for the first time shows an outline of the Gamakay TK68 itself, and on the side we could see the switch and features this keyboard has. Opening the box, we are greeted with the keyboard itself wrapped in plastic. First impression on the keyboard, it looks so nice with the ASA keycaps. But moving on, we could see the manual containing useful guides on how to change the lighting modes of the keyboard, as well as the other functions you could use since this is a 65% keyboard with function layers. Next to that is the 2.4 GHz USB receiver, the keycap and switch puller, and the angled USB cable, which you'll be needing since the keyboard's Type-C port is on the left side of the keyboard. So, the Gamakay TK68 is a 65% keyboard with 68 keys. The keyboard itself is made out of plastic and has a boxy design with thick bezels. This is surrounding the whole perimeter of the board. This unit can be purchased from Banggood with the ASA profile or XDA profile keycaps, as well as your choice of Gateron switches. Mine are brown switches with the ASA profile keycaps. On the front of the keyboard, we could see the 65% layout, with arrow keys on the right flanked by the knob cluster on top of it. The rest is the standard ANSI layout, with the exception of the one new Alt, FN, and Control keys, as well as the shorter Shift key. This is the perfect layout for those who want the compactness of a 60% but can't live without the arrow and delete keys. The board is made out of durable plastic, and in my testing, does exhibit a little bit of squeaking, maybe due to the design, but otherwise, it has okay marks on the build quality. As I've said earlier, on the front we could see the thick bezels surrounding the keys. To the bottom of that is the Gamakay logo, and to the left are multiple connections we could use to be able to type on this keyboard. There is wired mode with the Type-C, wireless via Bluetooth, or even 2.4 GHz with the included dongle. I'll talk about my experience later on. For now, let's move on the back where we could see the two-stage rubber feet on the bottom that can increase or decrease the incline of the board while you're typing. The back is also planked with the Gamakay logo front and center. I wish Gamakay would have thought to put a spot on the back for the 2.4 GHz dongle, as well as maybe put the Type-C port on the front and not on the side. Moving on, the RGB is plenty bright and can be changed with the FN plus backslash, while the colors can be changed with the FN plus B. The Gamakay TK68 has an earth-facing PCB that supports 3 and 5 pin switches. Sadly, you'll exhibit cherry profile interference with this if you do change out the included keycaps to cherry. But luckily, it includes either the XDA or ASA profile keycaps, which do not interfere. It was easy to disassemble, no screwdrivers were needed. You just need to snap up the top case, and you now have access to the PCB and the battery. From disassembling it, it looks to be a tray-mounted PCB on an aluminum plate, but without the screws in the middle. I'd imagine, if you remove the post in the middle, it could be a DIY top mount. Subscribe if you want to see me mod this further. Going back, the PCB also has the necessary chips for the Bluetooth as well as the 2.4 GHz connection. The keyboard has its own software to remap the keys and reconfigure the RGB. When you use it, it will continually run in the background in order to serve its function. The software was easy to use, and the changes I made in the software, such as the key remap, was set to the keyboard as soon as I changed it. No flashing or restarting needed. The keyboard has a big battery, and in my normal use, I wasn't able to deplete the battery in 1 week. This is with a 2.4 GHz dongle and RGB on. To save battery life, the keyboard goes into sleep mode within 10 minutes of inactivity. The keyboard also has NKRO on both wired and wireless modes, and I haven't experienced any lag yet while using any of the 3 modes. Again, to reiterate, it was a bummer that this board has a Type-C port on the side. But given that the dongle works flawlessly, I can dismiss this con. My unit came with Gateron brown switches, and in my experience, though scratchy, I like the feel of the Gateron browns. It's like the MX browns, providing only a gentle bump. The stabilizers are generously lubed out of the box, and the keyboard doesn't rattle at all. One of my complaints on this keyboard is that it resonated the pingy sound due to the alu plate. Nothing an easy modding can fix, but still, if you want this keyboard stock, you should expect the tiniest of the ping noises while you type. Later on, we will mod this to the best of our abilities for this board to have a thocc sound signature. The ASA profile keycaps are nice to type on also. It provides the SA look while having the height of OEM. This set in particular looks to be the same mold and thickness with my ASA profile keycaps from Akko. And with this set alone costing half of the keyboard, I could see this as a potential budget king compared to the RK68. The included ASA profile keycap is a far cry from the royal clutches of the world with thin shine through keycaps. If you're eyeing for this ASA keycaps and you want a 65%, the TK68 is right for you. You're basically getting the ASA keycaps for half of the price of the original. This being almost twice the price of the RK68 though, I honestly think this can compete with it. What you're missing out though is the extra USB ports the RK has. But if that's an issue to you, then it's up to you to decide between these two. Aside from that, compared to the RK68 squircle frame, this one has a clean 90-degree edge, which makes it look like the NK65 entry edition. For the price, I think this keyboard is a good competitor to the RK68. What it loses on the Type-C port, it gains on the keycaps included. Though keep in mind, there are same price barebone kits from the likes of the thocc or even the ECR series from Akko. So if you want to up your budget a bit, those are nice options too. But to sum it all up, I think this keyboard is great even in its stock configuration. If you're new to the mechanical keyboard community and want a solid pre-built that you can mod in the future, this surely hits the mark for me. But if you want to further improve the sound of the keyboard, then don't leave yet. In modding this keyboard, I basically did the usual mods I do to entry mechanical keyboards. I tape modded, PE foam modded, as well as added foam to the case to remove the pinginess of the board. To give the board a more thocc sound signature, I mounted the Gateron Yellow KS3s and changed the keycaps to the 2048 set I have. And the results? Hear it for yourself. So, what do you think of the sound? Leave your comments below and subscribe to see more budget key videos soon. But until then, I'm John J. Vinueva and thanks for watching.